Hello again. Well, this in this module you are going to study about Jesus. You are going to meet Jesus, who Jesus is. It's very important because in early Christianity, Jesus is the key figure. And we need to know what the Gospels say about Jesus, how Jesus is portrayed in the four Gospels. So, there are four Gospels: Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Mark was written in early 70s, probably 70 CE. Matthew and Luke in the 80s CE. And the Gospel of John between 90 and 100 CE, by the end of the first century. This is key. There is one Jesus, but in the four Gospels, we meet four Jesuses, or we see four pictures of Jesus. So each Gospel has its own way to show us who Jesus is. Okay, and as you read this chapter in the value of biblical studies, you are going to see who Jesus is in Mark, who Jesus is in Matthew, who Jesus is in Luke, and who Jesus is in John. Pay attention. And also, you are going to read or get familiar with the major themes in each gospel. And as you read those major themes, you really are going to know who Jesus is. You are going to understand the humanity of Jesus and the divinity of Jesus. Especially in the Gospel of John, you are going to see that Jesus is fully divine, that means he is God, and he is also fully human like us, except in sin. In the Gospel of John, Jesus existed always. He was there with God before creation. Imagine that. And then he becomes human. He becomes flesh. But when he becomes flesh, he doesn't lose his divinity, not even 1% of his divinity. So he's fully divine and he's fully human. That is key in Catholicism because Catholics believe that Jesus is not only the Son of God, but he is also God, the second person of the Holy Trinity. And then you are going to see, as you read the chapter in the textbook, you are going to see the structure of each gospel. What is the emphasis in each gospel? What do you see in Mark in relation to Christ, to Jesus? What do you see in Matthew, in Luke, and of course in John? And you are going to notice that the three Gospels, Mark, Matthew, and Luke, are called the synoptic Gospels. That means you can see the three Gospels with the same eyes. And you are going to notice that the Gospel of John is very different than the synoptic Gospels. Is very unique. In fact, 90% of what you read in the Gospel of John is unique to John. So get into the four Gospels because to understand who we are as Christians, who we are as Catholics, what we believe, everything is grounded in the four Gospels in the New Testament. So, to really know Christianity, Jesus, and the beliefs and dogmas and doctrines and teachings about Jesus, no? Everything that the Catholic Church teaches, we are going to find the source of everything in the four Gospels. That is why I truly believe that to understand more Christianity, to believe in Jesus, that He is the Messiah, the Son of God, the Savior, we need to know Him. We need to understand what He did when He was a man living in the first century. So get familiar with the context of Jesus' world, where what he was living, what time he lived in history, and that he was truly a real human being, but he was truly a, a divine, a God. And enjoy your reading, and I hope you get to love Jesus a little more than you what already feel and love Jesus. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.